Hello, hello, hello! I'm a mermaid, and welcome to Storytime with Bill. Today, we have a double feature. We're going to be reading Pearl and Coral by Molly Idle. And we'll be starting things off with Pearl. In the vast sea of blue, some mermaids watched over the waves breaking upon the endless beaches. Some kept an eye on the great coral reefs. Some tended to the towering forests of kelp rising from the ocean floor. Some guarded giants of the deep. And Pearl deeply wanted to be one of them. "Mother, I am big enough to help too," she said. "Yes, Pearl," her mother considered. "Come with me. I have something very important for you to look after." They swam up and up and up, past the breaking waves, until the sandy shore stretched all around them. "This," said her mother, "is yours." She placed a single grain of sand in Pearl's hand. "Yours to care for every day and keep safe every night." "But Mother," protested Pearl, "you said I could help with something important." "The smallest of things can make a great difference, Pearl," her mother replied. With that, Pearl was left alone. A wave of disappointment washed over her. She was surrounded by thousands of grains of sand, millions, billions, beyond counting. And here she was entrusted with just one. Her heart grew heavy, and the weight of it pulled her down, 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 where the salt of her tears mingled with the sea. Pearl glowered at the grain of sand. She clenched it in her tiny fist. Then, from beneath her fingers came a faint light. But when Pearl opened her hand, it was gone. Pearl closed her hand around the tiny grain again, gently this time. The sand resting on her palm had a luster to it that had not been there before. Every day, Pearl preserved it, polished it, and played with it. Every night, she protected it, and slowly, very slowly, it began to grow and grow and grow. And as it grew lighter, so did Pearl's heart. It seemed to buoy them up and up and up until it rose into the vast sea of stars. Pearl beamed up at it. It beamed back. Its light touched everything. It sparkled on the breaking waves and the coral, creating new reefs. It glowed in the tides flowing through the towering forests and illuminated the giants rising from the deep. and it shone upon Pearl. The end of part 1. And now for Coral, also by Molly Idle. In the sunlight, in the sea, 3 mermaids made their home. Coral created the reef itself. Philly looked after the little fish that found food and shelter there. Manta raised the sharks and rays that fed upon the fish, keeping the reef in balance. And so their home was whole and well, while each one shared their part. But one day, as Coral made her way among the caves, she came upon an empty hollow, hidden in the very heart of the reef. And as she sheltered there from the busy shoals above, an idea took root with Coral. She began to think that she should keep this haven for her very own. No nibbling fish, no rushing rays, just the sunlight and the sea and Coral. So, when Philly found her settled there, Coral's face grew pale, for in her heart, she did not wish to share. Then close on Philly's tail came Manta, stirring up a cloud of sand, and Coral's temper too. Filling up with white-hot anger, Coral cried, "Enough! You've ruined everything!" she shouted. "I don't want you here!" "But there's room enough for all of us," said Philly as she shied away. Manta moved to side with her. "We make our home here too." "I make the reef," Coral countered. "All you make is a mess." Her heated words broke over them in waves, driving Philly and Manta from the heart of the reef. Coral planted herself stubbornly back in place. But all that grew in the wake of her anger was a feeling of regret. No nibbling fish, no rushing rays, just the sunlight and the sea. Coral knew then that it was she, and she alone, who had ruined everything, and that alone she could not set it right. Reaching out to Philly and Manta, Coral called, "Please wait! I can make the reef, but I cannot make it a home without you. It takes all of us." Joining hands, they shared a smile. So it was that Coral and Philly and Manta returned to the heart of the reef. And in the sunlight, in the sea, 3 mermaids made their home together. The